Hi, welcome. My name is Jennifer O'Shea, and I will be your student's English teacher this semester. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me and see a little bit about what we're going to do this year, probably. So again, thank you for being here. I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller here so you can see what's going on with our slides. So this is English 9. We'll learn a little bit about me, focus on what goes on in English 9, and then I'll direct you to the places that you can find the information that you need. So a little bit about me, you'll see a picture of my family. That's my husband, myself, and our two kids who we recently adopted, actually just signed adoption papers on Monday. So really excited about that. And just learning to grow together. So it's been challenging and it's been fun, and I enjoy sharing that with my students. Over in the top corner there, I enjoy music. I love listening to music. I love singing. I love dancing. I danced like as a student, as a young person, but not so much anymore. And I love to travel. We like to try to go out of California, and in my past, I've been to many countries as well. I went to Saugus High School in the 90s, graduated, and ended up in San Diego at Point Loma Nazarene University, where I earned my bachelor's degree in journalism. And I intended to be a journalist, but it just didn't quite suit me at the moment. And so I ended up deciding that teaching was something that I would like to pursue, and found that I actually have quite a gift for it, and I love it. I love being with students. I love learning and growing, and so I got my teaching credential at CSUN, and I also received my master's degree in secondary English education from CSUN as well. It's a great school. I got my very first full-time teaching job at Western Ranch High School. There I taught all different levels of English. I also advised the student newspaper for 6 years and the yearbook as well. At the same time, that was quite taxing, but I loved every moment of it. And I was offered the opportunity after 12 years of teaching at Western Ranch to teach full-time as a journalism professor at the Masters University, and I took that opportunity, and it was a fantastic 2 years. And I ended up needing to leave there, and so I ended up back in the school district, and lucky enough at Canyon High School. This is my second year at Canyon. Last year was kind of a whirlwind, kind of crazy, and this year is starting off in a really peculiar way as well, but I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. The staff and students here are so supportive, kind, and caring, and I look forward to another year of learning with your children. So that's a little bit about me. I am beginning to try to adopt the idea of mastery learning, meaning that we're focusing on the learning and not necessarily on the points for assignments and the grades that you get for each thing that you do. Of course, in our culture, grades are very important, and that's what helps us for our future. But if we're doing the learning, then the grades will follow. So I offer opportunities to relearn and to try again, and that is the big idea of mastery learning. And so in the course outline, I let you know and I let your students know that they have the opportunity to relearn content, to ask me questions, and to try an assignment again, a quiz, an essay, a paragraph, whatever it may be. So I encourage them to take advantage of that. And with the online situation that we have now, it actually is a little bit easier to do that. They have more time to go back to a video, or to schedule a time to meet with me and get that one-on-one help. So please take advantage of that. We will always be reading, writing, and trying our very best to do speaking within our online learning time. So these are some of the skills that I've gone over with your child that we're going to make sure we're doing when we read. This is what a good reader does. And as we move through the high school curriculum in English, we always want to focus heavily on close reading and using literary and rhetorical devices um, to discover and to analyze how an author is choosing to share an idea. So that's what we'll focus on as we read, whatever it may be. Writing skills will take what we read and take what we discuss, and we'll turn that into informative writing, argumentative writing, and in some cases, narrative writing. There's not a huge focus on narrative at the beginning, but we will start with informative and move into argumentative, where we're always wanting to make a claim, find credible evidence to support that claim, and then think about a way to organize our ideas to share that idea, to share that claim. There are some core text. Ninth grade has had a little bit of a shakeup this year. We've been told that we are no longer going to be teaching certain core novels that we have in the past. So with our distance learning and that news, our ninth grade team is working to reconfigure our curriculum and doing our best. We do know that we will be reading several different types of nonfiction articles. We will be accessing the My Perspectives textbook, and we are starting with the Odyssey, which is an epic poem by Homer, and we follow our hero Odysseus through his journey. And so we've already begun talking about the hero's journey. And then one really important part of my class that I love, I value so much, is that I ask your student to have what I call a fun reading book, something that they are choosing to read every day. And we will read for 10 minutes at the beginning of our longer classes on Mondays and Thursdays, but I've asked them to find a time and a place every day that they can be reading and get through a book and then start a new one. And we'll be talking about it with small groups to the whole class. I might have them write something to let me know how their book is going. But this is something that I want them to begin to value and find the intrinsic importance of reading and just build that fluency for their future. As far as language goes, I am this year focusing on using Khan Academy to help me with the teaching of grammar. But I love Khan Academy because it's mastery learning based. And so I will give your child a week to complete a certain amount of activities and quizzes within Khan Academy, and then I will assign them an assessment after that week. And so I found it to be a valuable tool that allows them to learn at their own pace and get the grammar practice that they need. And then I will be checking for that in their writing. So some helpful information you'll always find on Google Classroom. You will have to have your child help you access their account so you can see it from their perspective. Almost all parents and guardians have been included on the list to get updates every week, but that still doesn't give you access to looking at it from your child's perspective. So I recommend sitting down with them and looking at that every once in a while. You can download any documents that I have given for information, like I have a course outline app or the course outline itself. I did send the course outline through Infinite Campus to everybody who is registered with their email within Infinite Campus, and I strongly suggest regularly checking Infinite Campus. As of now, I don't have grades updated. I will do that before the 5-week grading period, but once that comes, and every week or so after that, as soon as I get work graded and assessed, I will put that in Infinite Campus. So that, is another way to check in and see what's going on with your students' learning. So one way you can do that is in Google Classroom. Most of what you're going to want to use is under classwork. And here's important materials. The rest of it is all the work that is being assigned and that we're going through. But here is the link to the Zoom meeting, the course outline app that you can access that has everything about grades and how materials that they need and all of that information that they should already know, but in case they feel a little bit behind, you can help with that. My welcome letter that I sent out at Infinite Campus, and on week 1, you'll also find the course outline in case you did not receive that email. So please feel free to contact me at joshay@heartdistrict.org. That would be the only way to communicate with me at the moment as we are going through our online learning life. So thank you so much again for joining me, and please feel free to contact me with any questions.